Well, hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. My name is Will, this is Monster Hunter World, and we are going to set off on another little adventure. As you can see on my back here, I've got a new weapon now, because as was pointed out in the comments of the previous video, the Defender axe I actually made there is part of the Defender set, which kind of gives you a lot of power that your character could, go through the story for the DLC. And yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have like an abnormally easy time going through the monsters. I would rather battle them and struggle a bit. And here we are. So we've got the new one. We've got the bone charge blade right here, and I have also leveled it up slightly. So hopefully this stands us in good stead for the next adventure. And well, speaking of that, I am going to do the next assigned quest, which is Sinister Shadows in the Swamp. And in this mission, apparently, we are going to encounter a creature that a lot of people are not big fans of. So yeah, I am actually looking forward to seeing this because, well, from what I've seen, it is a very, very interesting creature. So let's jump right in, shall we? And here we go. Now I see we are basically doing a night hunt, which made things... Oh yes, yeah. Yeah, we are here to actually find a scholar, but let's also gear up with everything we could. And then we are heading off. Oh, there's a new little critter. That looks like the arid version of the shepherd hare. Let's see if we can grab it. There we go. A pilot hare, a rare animal that appears on sunny days. They've been said to guide travelers who have lost their way. So they had a bit of a redder color, and that probably helps them camouflage a bit here in the desert environment. Now we also have these little deer-like antelope here. Oh, look at that, sexually dimorphic. Males having the horns or the antlers, and the females not. So if this is a true antelope, these would be horns, and if this is more of a deer, it would be antlers, and the antlers would actually fall off. Now, from what I've heard, actually the females also have them. It's just smaller. Yeah, much smaller. Also the coloration obviously very different here. More of a green tint to the coat of the probably a male over here, and a bit more bluish color there with the female. Interesting that they actually are this color, because this would be great for blending into the background, into like a forested environment. Not great for this arid region. I mean, they do kind of stand out like sore thumbs. So if I can see them, Rathalos can see them. So yeah, but here we go. Here's some more shepherd hare, the normal shepherd hare. I know you can actually hunt these little antelope creatures, or these deer. Actually, let's call them deer, because I know you can shoot the horns off or the antlers off. Of course, when we do need these special antlers of these little deer, then we will come and we will hunt them. Hello, Apsaros. And then we will come and hunt them, but until then, it's not necessary. Now, last time, I actually talked about the Apsaros, but I gave them completely the wrong name. Okay, Scholar's Trail. Okay, great stuff. So that's that way. But I gave the Apsaros completely the wrong name. And then I had to remove that section. I initially had it at the end of the episode, and then I realized, oh, I still left that in, and I took it out. But yeah, this is the Apsaros. Now, if you're looking at the Apsaros here, you obviously notice the hard shell on top there. And you will notice the long tail with the club with spikes at the tip here. Now, this appears to be a mixture of a few creatures. 2 extinct and 1 living species. Now, the extinct species this looks like would be the Doedicurus, especially with a club there, which is a giant armadillo relative from South America, one of the Glyptodonts, and then also Ankylosaurus. I mean, looking at the head here with the scales on top of the head, that's both Doedicurus and... Why are you looking upset? Oh, you're just walking around, okay. We're kind of forming a circle now. I know they form circles when they're feeling threatened, although I don't see any other signs of danger, so no. They're just turning around. The head there, it does resemble both Doedicurus and Ankylosaurus, which were quite heavily armored, both from the head and down to their tail. Oh, dear. Don't tell me you want to attack me now. Looking very threatening. Okay, never mind. But yeah, so they of course are trying to defend themselves most likely against Rathalos or some other big wyvern flying creature. And that of course, having that hard shell is a good defense against that. Now what I want to also show you is, look at right there, that where the shell actually extends away from the neck. The front part of the shell is actually not there to defend the neck. If it were, it would actually be curving down to the neck. But notice it curves up, and that most likely is to allow the Apsaros to actually browse higher up, so that it can actually lift up its head without the shell getting in the way. And we see something very similar in some of the Galapagos tortoise species. The species especially that are feeding on cactus fruits. So that bend in the shell there allows the Apsaros and also the giant tortoises that feed on cactus fruits to actually extend their head up without the shell getting in the way, so that they can actually browse higher up. And that's an amazing adaptation. The species that don't feed higher up don't need that bend in their shells. So this indicates that even though we don't see any tall leash plants anymore in the Wildspire wastes, they would be able to feed on some of the taller plants if they were to encounter any on their travels. Alright, this will be another set of footprints of the scholar. Somewhere this way. Wait, there is also a Baroth walking over there. We're going to avoid him. That Baroth, of course, there's mud over here. Occasionally it does. Ooh.
Wait, what's that there?
Okay, apparently we've got something there. But the Baroth would come here to the mud occasionally to, of course, wallow. Oh, the Apsaros are unhappy about something. Defensive circle. Don't tell me that's a Rathalos. What are you guys upset about? Something, but I don't know what. Okay.
Wait! What's going on with the scout flies?
What's over here? Old splintered thorns. Okay, the Apsaros are calm again, so whatever they were worried about, they're no longer worried about. Now, I actually wanted to catch a parrot-toad. I saw a parrot-toad here a moment ago. There it is. Ah, this looks like a book. Yeah, there we go. Oh, here's a dead Apsaros. Ooh. Okay, it's decaying, so it's been here for a while. Interesting that the Noyos are actually not scavenging on this dead Apsaros over here, because the Noyos are vulture-like. They would be scavenging on carcasses in the Wildspire wastes. Oh, some more splintered thorns. And some more footprints. Okay, so we're definitely on the right track. And we're heading into lower lying, like a delta area, kind of like the Okavango Delta. As the river flows downstream, it ends up in this mire, basically. Oh, that's a big swamp. There are some, looks like Gajua over there as well, or Gajau over there as well. We'll need to look out for them.
Is that the scholar? What's that he's sitting next to? It looks like a Baroth?
Oh, dead Baroth. Interesting. Some more old splintered thorns over here. Wonder what this is all about. I wonder whether we shouldn't perhaps get rid of these little guys, getting them to come here before we actually do anything else. There we go. These definitely are fish that are perfectly adapted for life in the swamps here in shallow water. Also able to kind of jump out of the water occasionally. They don't need to be completely submerged. They can kind of flop around as well. Their bodies are perfectly adapted for that. Oh, okay, cutscene time. Hopefully we are not under attack by the Gajau while we are trying to... Oh, that's a dead Baroth. Oh, okay.
Don't let him find me. Don't let him find me.
Okay. Scholar, we found you. We found you.
Saw it.
What did you see? Oh, look at all those dead thorns or spines in that Baroth as well.
The Jyuratodus. That didn't kill the
Jyuratodus.
Baroth. It was...
Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Huh. That's a Jyuratodus. Ooh. Okay. Really wondering about all the thorns that we found, all the broken thorns. But, ooh. Okay. Right, so. Jyuratodus. Todus or Odus means tooth. And not... Okay, yeah, I would assume that's the new part. Okay. Good, so let's just see what on earth it does. It shoots out mud. That will probably be extremely sticky. And will probably... Oh, that's mud. That's the mud I'm in. Very, very sticky. Oh. Okay. This is going to be an interesting fight. So let's, while he is out like this, let's whack him a bit. Of course, there are some Gajau as well. Okay, wow. But that is a beautiful creature. Oh, he's attacking Memphis. Look at those fins though. Those fins are not actually typical of normal fish that we see nowadays. You only see those fins in the lobe-finned fish. Especially, or particularly, in the coelacanth that's alive nowadays. But it won't have those... that's probably a tail attack, okay. It won't have two sets of fins on its back. It only has one set of fins on its back, actually. But this also is a bipedal creature. And of course, oh wow, it can leap out of the mud as well. Okay, here we go. Mess. And there we go. That was a lovely attack, yes. Okay, let's go do that. And let's go for charge attack. Ooh, okay, yeah, that is a big swing. Of course it is. I'm just trying to get rid of the Gajau here as well. Oh, look at that. Kind of like a death roll. You know what this also reminds me of? A hagfish. Hagfish are scavengers living in the deep ocean. And they will secrete this slime. Hectic slime. If you were to try and grab a hagfish, they secrete copious amounts of that slime. And, there we go. Oh, that took quite a bit of health there. And that makes it very difficult to actually grip onto them. What they will also do is, when they're feeding, they grip a piece of the carcass that they're scavenging on. And then they twist their bodies. And as they're twisting it into knots, they actually then rip pieces off. And we are going to track this monster. It's very agile in the water. Ooh. Okay. We're heading up after it. But it can traverse, basically, land, it seems, as well. They just need a bit of shallow water. They can move from point A to point B. No problem, provided there is some water. You can kind of just walk and slither around. There's lots and lots of teeth over there, which I do find very interesting. I'm loving this nice attack that you guys told me about as well in the previous video's comments. In essence, if you press left and right mouse button, you do a forward lunge, and if you do it 3 times, well, it forms a nice little extra attack there. And there you can go like that. Wow. This is a beautiful creature. Okay, spitting mud again. Not very nice of you. So I like to see this Jyuratodus as like a coelacanth that has evolved a little bit further. Because, well, coelacanth are very interesting. As I walk into every single mud pile that is lying around here. Oh, it definitely has legs as well. Yes, definitely has legs. Now, if we're just looking at the name, Jyuratodus, it's very similar to an extinct genus of... Oh, there we go, twirling around again. I guess actually feeding, that's kind of what a hagfish will also look like when they are feeding. But I do know that it is actually covering itself with mud, which will make it a little bit more difficult to actually do damage to him. Ooh, Baroth and Jyuratodus are fighting. That is awesome.
Maybe we can use this to our advantage.
Okay, and in the meantime, Apsaros is just like, no. Ooh, look at that, look at that. Alright, so, very aggressive towards one another, the Jyuratodus and the Baroth. I mean, it makes sense, both are big creatures in the same area. And like, for example, lions and hyenas, they don't like one another at all. When they occur in the same areas, they will feed on the same things, and they will try to kill one another if they have the opportunity. Oh, Baroth is also kind of angry. Baroth, just avoid us. Just ignore us. I think we got too close there. I think Baroth is unhappy with us. What we are going to do? Yeah, we're going to just run away. Run away, Stanley. Stop for the mud pile over here. And just get out of the way. Let's follow the Jyuratodus. So Jyuratodus, although Jyuratodus and Baroth both will feed on different things. Technically, there's no real overlap in niches between them. But the Baroth and the Jyuratodus are living in the same area. And maybe that similarity in habitat that's driving the competition between them and the attacks, against one another. I think that's why they can't actually stand one another. Why, when they see each other, they will attack one another. Okay, here we are back with the Jyuratodus. So, what I was trying to say. There is an extinct genus of lungfish known as Jyuratodus, which occurred in Australia, as far as I know as well. There's even a town called Jyuratodus in Australia named after Jyuratodus, which is a genus of lungfish that's extinct now, but that was found nearby. I mean, that's quite cool. I mean, having your whole town named after a fossil that was found, or a fossil genus that was found in your area. I mean, that's just awesome. Alright, there is the Jyuratodus. Again, we can see him. Yes, scout flies, we can see him. Anyway, but what I wanted to say about... Oh, okay, it's not coming to us. That's good. Lungfish and coelacanth are actually more closely related to us as mammals than they are to other fish, which I find weird. But on the Tree of Life, the coelacanth and the lungfish, that group split away from the other fishes before mammals and other, our ancestors split away from fish. So they are more closely related to us than they are to fish. So even though we typically would call a coelacanth a fish, it's actually closer to us than it is to a shark, or than it is to a different fish that we typically see. Probably going to do a bit of a twirly-whirly. No, it's just lunging forward, okay. We're just going to try and avoid the mud there. We go doing a bit of a leap attack, missing me, thankfully. Oh man, I am loving this forward charge that we can do. That's great. Come on, Jyuratodus. But yeah, so I think the Jyuratodus here kind of resembles a coelacanth that then, instead of staying in the water like they are found nowadays... Oh, that's... Yeah, there we go. Okay, at least I got some retaliatory strikes against it. Ah, I'm stuck in the mud. Oh man, no, I want to get out. I want to break free. Mess. But this coelacanth here then kind of evolved to become a land-dwelling Piscine wyvern, in essence. Okay, getting a few attacks in on it. It is obviously still very much alive. Oh, okay, that's a new attack. Okay. Dodge out of the way, Will. Dodge out of the way. Okay, I learned my lesson there. Aha! Ooh. That is lovely. Curling around again, covering itself in mud. Oh man, this really is a massive coelacanth. That's what this is. Ah! I got stuck in every single mud pile there. Oh my word. Okay, but I don't think this guy even has... Okay, oh man, I just keep on getting knocked back in the mud. I don't think this Jyuratodus actually has gills, which means it is either... I mean, you know what? I don't think it isn't... I don't think it has got lungs. I don't think it has gills. I think it actually breathes through its skin, like an amphibian. If I remember correctly, the Jyuratodus here actually breathes through its skin. It has... What is it called? It is cutaneous or... not subcutaneous. It has something to do with the skin. There is a term for that. I'll have it down below. There is a term used to describe when you actually breathe through the skin. And that is how the Jyuratodus will actually breathe. It's very difficult to actually talk about the species you are fighting while you are fighting like this. But I'm going to try and do my best still, as we're just making our way after it. Of course, now we're going to fight it in the same area that the Baroth was fighting it earlier. It was kind of a stalemate though between them. The idea there with them is that they just wanted to chase one another away. Okay, this is a different area from the Baroth area. Oh, this is the area Baroth also sometimes comes. This is where we attacked, or we also fought it previously. So currently my sword is glowing red and all my attacks are bouncing off. And I cannot for the life of me remember how to get rid of it. Because I can't store any more charges. So yeah, those of you that use the charge blade, if you can just give me a hint of how how does one get rid of those charges? Okay, I think there is a Jyuratodus again. Is it? Yeah, it is. Oh, it's probably trying to regenerate health. I think it is heading towards the end of its life. I think so. I think so. Hello. Hello, Jyuratodus. Okay, yeah, you see, no gills there. Hello. Okay, it is down again. And we are stuck again. Okay, we are at least doing some damage against it, but it's really horrible. Oh man, this is now the point where it is useful to actually know your weapon. Okay, for some reason, I cannot, for the life of me, store any charges, even though I should be able to. My sword is glowing red in color, but for some reason I cannot. Like, I can use that attack, but I cannot. Like, there it is again, glowing. And I'm not sure why that is. If anybody can give a tip as to why that is the case, because, I mean, our attacks are doing very little against the Jyuratodus over there, and our weapons breaking the whole time, in essence, and yeah. So for now, we are just going to, you know, destroy our weapon, in essence, against this Jyuratodus, as it spits a bit more at us. Okay, we are finally... They have the legs. You can actually properly see the legs. So that will be the modified hind fins. Oh, it's dead. Okay, great. Okay, so that will be the modified hind limbs that actually are adapted to then become legs.
Really bad about those thorns.
I was also wondering about those thorns. So something big has thorns and was also in this area. Okay, large scales. I mean, typical fish-like, so piscine after all. You know, but we have got to harvest this, otherwise it's just going to be an absolute waste. There's a tail fin, of course, as well. These fins, really, this is exactly what a coelacanth or lobed-finned fish's fins would look like. Really, really coelacanth-like. I love the fact that it actually lives in the swamps here, and it can also come onto land because it is well, it has got legs. It's got 2 legs. The attacks are very interesting. The spitting of muddy water, and that does slow us, of course, as well. So it's mixed with slime, most likely. The fact that it covers itself with mud as armor, you know, we don't have animals that really do that, as far as I know, not on Earth at least. Of course, a lot of animals will use mud to actually coat their hide, so that it protects them against sun and against parasites and stuff like that, but not against attacks. It's really brittle. I mean, mud can be broken off very, very easily. So, yeah. But the fact that it also spits mud and slime, I really think that is a great adaptation. I mean, look at archerfish, for example, that will use water that actually they compress the inside of their mouth with a tongue, and that forces water out through a narrow spout in their mouth. And that, of course, they will use to actually knock prey off branches. So in this case, the Jyuratodus here is using the mud not to knock us out of the branches so it can eat us. Instead, it is using the mud that is shooting at us to actually immobilize us, to make sure that we can't, you know, run around and do any more damage to it, or try to prevent us from doing damage to it. So it's more of a defensive attack there. But at the same time, it would, of course, be able to immobilize us and then eat us. So it makes sense, it makes sense. I do find it very interesting that the Jyuratodus here and the Baroth are so aggressive towards one another and showing agonistic behavior. That is very, very interesting. Because, I mean, the Baroth is an insectivorous species, and it doesn't feed on the same thing as this Piscine wyvern over here, the Jyuratodus, would. So let's just quickly look at something well, we're going to look at something in a moment. Let's just take everything here. To grab everything we can get there. Let's quickly go back, have a look, and talk to the ecologists.
Gather round, everyone. We're ready to begin.
Let's see, what have you got to say?
Thanks to you, we've made great strides towards understanding the tracks that have turned up across the continent. Our researchers have done some projections. And now we know where Zora Magdaros will go next.
Ooh.
It's heading for the Great Ravine.
A great ravine, like a massive canyon, I assume.
Great ravine. The huge valley out past the Wildspire?
Okay.
Correct. So I have a proposition for all of I say we try and capture Zora once it gets there.
Have you gone mad?
Wow. You want to catch it? How? How?
Hear me out. The ravine is the perfect terrain for staging such an event. We're not going to get a better chance than this.
Okay. You're going to die. That's what's going to happen. You're going to die. The chef loves that idea. Lots of food to cook.
This opportunity, it could be a decade before the next opportunity presents itself. Maybe longer.
Is it even possible?
If I said it wasn't, would that stop you?
Probably not.
Let's give it a go. With the fifth supporting us, our chances are as good as ever.
Then it's settled.
Before we send the hunters out for the capture, we need to secure Astera. An Anjanath has been active in the area.
Ooh.
Not the kind of monster you toy around with. We'll need a plan for it.
Yes, we have been encountering that Anjanath a few times, actually.
You're right. Hunters, you have your next assignment. Take care of that Anjanath, but be careful. The Anjanath is a fearsome monster. One slip up and you're done.
Okay, so I'm guessing next main mission will be to get rid of that Anjanath.
Commander, if I may, I think I have a great idea.
Okay, what have you got, Mr. Botanist?
Hunter, I could use your help. Drop by later if you will.
Alright, we
Another
will.
thing, that troubling report we received. Think you could... Right.
Okay.
Good then. Let's get this show on
The
the
huntsman
road.
looks
We
suspicious.
have an elder dragon to capture.
Fish, that sounds like a terrible idea. The most terrible idea in the history of terrible
Everyone
ideas.
dismissed.
We also need to pop in here by the ecologist. Hello, little ecologist. Okay, apparently we've got some updates on Zoramagdaros, Baroth, and Jyuratodus. Let's quickly look in the field guide. There we go, Jyuratodus. A large Piscine wyvern that inhabits the swamps of the Wildspire Waste. It uses mud to capture prey and it's known to battle Baroth over territory. Okay. Interesting, it doesn't mention anything regarding the fact that it breathes through its skin. But I mean, that is something you will find with salamanders and frogs as well. They can also breathe through their skin. Some fish can, most cannot, but there are some fish that can breathe through their skin. But it is quite an interesting adaptation. And I love the fact that Jyuratodus here, which lives in these swampy conditions, they are able to use that method of breathing. The lungfish, which technically would be closer to the Jyuratodus than, you know, us as mammals or other fish, for example, they also have a lung-like organ in their body. That's why they're called lungfish. And they can survive out of water for quite a while, breathing air directly out of the atmosphere. Some fish, like some catfish, for example, especially in South Africa, there are some that they can also breathe oxygen directly from the air. Instead of, you know, using their gills. They have got the gills as well, but they can also breathe it directly from the atmosphere, which is an amazing adaptation. And in the case of the catfish, of the sharp-toothed catfish in South Africa, that allows it to actually walk over land, overnight, for example, when it's nice and cool. If the pond that they are in starts drying up, they can walk on land using their fins to flop around a bit. And they slowly but surely, I think they can walk something like 1 kilometer from one area to another to find another pond. I mean, the Jyuratodus here, they actually do have legs, so they can walk a little bit more easily. But yeah, this is a very, very interesting creature, and a lot of adaptations that we see in real life present in it. And that's what I love about this, and I love about this game. If you look at Baroth, for example, what was also mentioned in the comments in the previous episode, and I can't believe I didn't think of that, but well done, guys, to pointing that out. The nostrils being located at the top of the head, yeah, that is so that it can actually breathe while lying almost completely submerged. And if you look at creatures that often spend time in the water, crocodiles, hippos, all those creatures, extinct creatures as well, things that were spending time in water and submerged in water, dolphins and whales with a blowhole, all of those, the nostrils are located at the top of the head, so they can actually still breathe while almost the entire body is submerged in the water. And that is just perfect. Alright, so thanks for pointing that out as well in the comments, guys, appreciate it. Alright, so Lastly, let's have a look here. I believe we are supposed to talk to the botanist. Oh, here's the botanist. I was like, where's the botanist? Right over here. Hello there, botanist. Anjanath is one nasty monster. You'd better make sure you go in doubly prepared. Now, down to business. They've got a slight problem at the botanical research and need our skills to deal with it. They're trying to develop some specialized tools, but a Toby Kadachi in the forest has been thwarting their attempts. Huh. I don't think we have actually encountered a Toby Kadachi. Okay, and we've got this tool now that the botanist has given us that we can use. But only if we can take care of their little problem. Okay, oh, it's a Ghillie mantle. Oh. Oh. So this is the tool that was mentioned in the one comment as well that will allow me to get closer to monsters without them being able to see me. Oh, in the video there we are under attack. Oh, and then we use the Ghillie mantle, and then we like a little shrubbery. And the Anjanath can't see us. Oh, that's lovely. Oh yes, that will allow us to get close to monsters and actually talk about them without being under attack by them. Oh, that's marvelous. I wonder how long the Ghillie mantle actually lasts. That's going to be interesting to see as well. And then, of course, okay, maybe it is until we attack and then we throw it off. Well, now, that is very, very interesting. Okay, I'm excited about that. And I did see there that you can use these items an unlimited time, but it has a cooldown after use. Alright, so let's just double check, because I'm pretty sure our next quest then is, yes, to hunt the Tobikadachi. Oh, it looks like another aquatic creature. So that will probably do next time, because I would like to get that Ghillie suit. Oh, I've got it, which is marvelous. I see the effect ends if you perform an attack or take damage. You know, this will allow me to talk about animals so nicely. Oh, yes. Okay. The new thing, next time we encounter a monster, I'm just going to equip the Ghillie mantle, and then we'll be able to talk about it, no problem. Oh, that's marvelous. Alright, so, next time, guys, I think we are going for a little bit of an expedition into the ancient forest. We'll talk about some of the critters we see there. The time thereafter, we probably will do a bit of an exploration of the Wildspire wastes, and then after that we will probably continue on with the main quests. Now, I do believe by the time that this video comes out, it is the open beta test of Monster Hunter Wilds again, so I will be doing a live stream tomorrow on Saturday of Monster Hunter Wilds, so come and join me for that then. 6 to 9 South African time. But thank you very much, everyone, for joining me on a little adventure here. Hope you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun battling the Jyuratodus there, even though I didn't get a lot of opportunity to talk about them. Next time, when we've got the Ghillie mantle and we're actually doing an expedition to the Wildspire waste, I will be able to talk a bit more about the Jyuratodus, you know, without being interrupted by its attacks and my charge blade just being glowing red. I don't like that. So if you've got any tips on how to get rid of that, if I can't actually store any vials, please do pop it down in the comments below. Anyway, have a lovely day further, everyone, and stay safe. I'll see you all next time. Cheers!